Listen up. Be you. You got this. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Keto, rock stars, stay strong. Be you. Bacon, beef, butter. Keto rock stars. Keto rock stars. Keto rock stars. Keto on, stay strong. Be you. Keto rock stars.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, Keto Rockstars. And tonight we have a very special guest, Barbara from Grandma's Crochet Corner, the one, the
Hello,
only. She's famous.
the one and only, the
And
famous grandma, right? Yeah, uh-huh.
yes, she's my grandma and she's your grandma too. So welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight, Barbara. Um, If you don't mind, I'm gonna just take a minute to say hi to a few people,
Go for it.
and then we'll get into your story. First of all, I'd like to give Jonathan Carnivore Muscle a shout out. He became a member today. Thank you, Jonathan, and welcome. I appreciate the support. We got Carrie in the house. Welcome, Carrie. Kendra, Consume the Goodness is here. Evelyn, my awesome moderator's here, who's been with me from the beginning. Welcome. Holly Springer's here. Lynn 22 Cat, she's here, she's there, she's everywhere. Uh, let's see, Bacon Runner, Donna Ray's here. Brian Dish is in the house. Rick Quack Quack, Charger Mopar. Welcome, Schmoovy, my neighbor. What do you think of this weather? It's snowing again outside. That's John. John is Schmoovy. Kelly Broken Carnivores here. Let's see. Juju is in the house. We all love Juju. Welcome. Uh, see who else is here. You guys are blowing up the chat. CB Carmack is welcome, CB. Thanks for joining us. CB's my classmate in the PhD. Aaron Booby Goats is here. Welcome. Rick Twinbrook Acres, who's going to be coming on this channel soon for an interview. Carnivore Whisper, Elisa's here. Thomas, Target Prime Rib is here. Welcome. And Carnivore Jerry, my sister from another Mister's in the house. We're soon to have an arrest record, I think, in Louisville, but that's another story. Sandy Blythe's here. Helix is here. Carnivore Helix, welcome. Debbie Cards and Crochet is in the house. Josephine
Wow.
JoJo's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coach Angela Mullins in the house. Welcome, Coach Angela. And I think that is everybody. Okay, as you guys see, I've got this little chat reader up here that's going to go through every chat. I'm going to try to look for chats as well. Um, Also, though, if you have a question for Barbara, please put QQQ in front of it, or if you have something that you want read, please put QQQ in front of it, and I will read that. Oh, we have a couple more people. Cindy DeManch is in the house. Welcome, Cindy. And I just missed Free Thinker, and Granny Boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, now we're gonna turn it over to our guest speaker, Barbara. Barbara, tell us a little bit about your carnivore story. How did you come um to find carnivore?
Well, all my life I have been overweight. Even as childhood, my mother put me through Weight Watchers, which didn't really go well because all I would do is go sneak in the pantry when everyone was sleeping and just eat away, right?
Hmm.
So I wasn't really doing well on that diet. And then she put me on another and another and another. And my adult life was the same way, in and out of different diets. So I've always had a problem with weight, but none of the diets really worked. I'd end up overeating. Different stressors in my life would cause me to overeat. So I was really addicted to food. I overate. I just kept blooming bigger and bigger. Go on another diet. I'd lose a little bit of weight, end up going back to the old ways due to stress or whatever, and overeat some more. Sometimes I didn't even have to overeat. Sometimes just eating high carbs just, you know, made me keep gaining weight. And as I gained weight, I would get sicker and sicker. About 8 years ago or so, I started having mini strokes. multiple mini strokes. I was going blind. I went blind one day, actually a couple of times. I went blind. That's scary when you're in a jail and suddenly you can't see for about 15 minutes. I didn't know what was going on. I was a smoker, so I quit smoking this one particular day. The very next day, I had another stroke, but it was worse. And I was all alone in my house. Um, and I had my husband's office on redial on my phone, so I didn't have no strength because I couldn't lift my arms because I was in the middle of having a stroke. I was able to push redial, and I tried to tell my husband he needed to come home, but I couldn't really talk. But he figured it out and came home, and from there he called an ambulance. From there, I found that I had a blockage in my neck. I have a big scar right here. They had to cut me from here all the way down. They put me on bypass while they cleaned that artery. They tried to do like a stent and all that type of stuff. Nothing worked. They couldn't do it. And they said I would. They told my children and my family to prepare because they only give me 25% chance to live through it. So I beat the odds. Lucky world, I lived through it. But the doctors told me you cannot eat fat. That's what caused the blockage, was you were eating too much fat. Little did I know it was probably because of too much carbs, not fat. It was the complete opposite. So for years, I was just scared. I was fearful. My anxiety just kept getting worse and worse and worse because I was eating all these carbs. I'm avoiding fat. I got to the point where I was in so much pain, I couldn't walk anymore. I was pretty much bedridden, but I could take a few steps with a walker. My son bought me this big, huge walker with a seat because I would take a few steps and get really dizzy and had to sit. So my son bought me the a limousine of walkers. It's huge. But at this point, I'm over 400 pounds. There was times when I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. I'd wet myself on the way to the bathroom. I'd poop myself. It didn't matter. So life just kept getting worse. I would have to have people shower for me or shower me because I couldn't do it myself anymore because my anxiety was so high that I had to hold on to something with both hands. So we'd put a chair in the shower and I'd hold on to the chair while someone scrubbed my body. I mean, talk about embarrassing, right? So, but again, I didn't know that I was eating wrong. I thought I was eating right. I've been on so many diets, and I'm not going to get into what some of the diets put me through.
Listen, well, we won't talk about the brown rice incident.
No, we're not going to talk about that. But so I tried everything to stay away from the fats. But eventually, I was sitting in my chair one night just giving up. I had already talked to all my kids. I'm going to be dying. This is it, guys. I want you to cremate me and make sure my ashes go to Maine. I want my ashes to be blown over the ocean. And that's where I'll spend eternity, over the ocean. Can you imagine giving your children that talk? It was hard. But I believed I was dying. I was in so much pain and suffering so bad over everything because my anxiety was so bad. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid of going outside. I didn't even answer my phone, and I still don't answer my phone. I still have a hard time with some things. So a lot of you guys see the me that I'm becoming, but I'm still not completely healed, but I'm getting there.
You're doing fantastic. Like, you're doing so good, Barbara. I mean, your walks every day. Like, there's so much to unpack here with you because you just, like, you just, you got to drive for the first time.
I stopped
In
driving
how many years?
over
In how
5
many years?
over 5
So you
years.
couldn't drive for 5 years, and why couldn't you drive for 5 years?
Too
Tell
much
everybody why
fear,
you couldn't
too
drive.
much fear, too much anxiety. I was just I just couldn't think. It was everything. just everything. The anxiety was so high that I felt like I was always on fire, burning. It was my mind was so noisy and cloudy, and you just can't think straight. So the louder it got, because I'm eating just carbs, nothing, no fat, because that's what I was
Yes.
told. So my
Yep.
diet consisted of 100% carbs. And so I'm getting sicker and sicker and sicker to the point where I was going to kill myself, to be right out straight and frank. So my days I looked at were limited because I just couldn't go on that anymore. The only thing that that got me going past the worst part was my husband had a stroke, and I had to take care of him, but I didn't think I could. I was so scared that I was going to die before him. And I remember looking at YouTube, and I found for the first time, I found Carrie Mann, and he was interviewing Bill Knotts. And I felt such a connection to Bill Knotts that he sparked that little bit of hope inside of me that, oh, I'm sorry. He sparked that little bit of hope in me that I thought, if this man that's 700 pounds, that has all kinds of medical issues, and he's trying this, I'm going to try it too. So I watched I went on a marathon of Carrie Mann and Bill Knotts and watched all of their videos, because at that point he had already been on the carnivore diet for about a year. And so I decided to go for it. In 7 months, I had lost 120 pounds. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So I was able, because I wasn't going to go, but I was able to go to a trip with my family to Maine. Mistakenly, I thought, you know what? I feel great. I'm wonderful. I'm living again. I don't need to be so strict on my, you know, carnivore way, the carnivore diet. I don't have to be strict. I can eat whatever I want now. And that was not the case. From that point on, I caught COVID, pneumonia, and I just started spiraling right back to where I was, to where I needed a walker again. And I was in all kinds of pain again. So this past summer, in July 27th, my very first day I went live for the first time. My first day of going live, and I said, today I start the carnivore journey. I'm going to start eating just meat, and I've been doing that ever since.
Had one trip. You had one time when you went back to Maine.
Yeah,
And what happened with that?
I decided to eat everything. I went to Maine. I'm going to eat Italian sandwiches. I'm going to eat all the things that Maine was known for. Eating all those carbs. I just went crazy. I had Maine pizza, from Maine. And then I just
Mhm.
got addicted and continued on. It didn't take long though. By the time that trip was over, I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker until I blamed it, um, that I ended up with COVID, but could have been almost anything. Probably it was the carbs that weakened. I don't know what it was, but I ended up getting sick, then in the hospital with pneumonia, and then just onward spiraling. And then I said, that's it. That's it. That's enough. So I couldn't do anything. I'm breaking furniture. I'm falling. I during that winter before last summer, I had fallen a few times. I broke a shower chair in the shower, and it took about three people to get me up out of the shower from falling because I was so big. It was awful. It was just simply the worst thing you could go through. I was going through it, and it was last year. I don't know what it was. It was, I watched Bill Knotts again, and then it was like, yeah, I got to do this. I got to do this again, and just started doing it. And I will not eat carbs again. I know that because that just means I already know what it means. I'll
We're
die.
so glad. We're so thankful you're here, Barbara, and that
Now,
you've
now I do every now and again, once in a great while, I wonder what kind of damage am I doing because the doctor said no fat. So, am I killing myself eating fat? And I have to say, for those people that want to throw that in my face, does it matter? I'm not the person I was when I was at my worst. I'm surviving. So even if these last 6 months I'm living on borrowed times, you know what? I'm living. I'm outside, I'm walking. I'm not stuck in this room, in this chair, dying. So I'm putting my life in the hands of my higher power, whichever that may be. Let go, let God. Let him take care of it. And
yep,
that's what I've been doing. I'm not gonna
yep.
worry about it.
And I when did you start your channel? It was this summer sometime, right?
July
Was it this
27th.
summer? And I
I
think I came
before
on the
then,
scene.
yes, you came in about a week, but I didn't know that. I wasn't sure because I didn't know anybody. I just know someone said,
No.
can you come to my channel and do an interview? And I said, yeah, just
We'll get
email
to
me.
that in a second. But we'll get to
Just
that in a
email
second. But
me.
Dustin, so Dustin, I'm Dustin and I met at Keto Palooza 2024. And we'll talk about Keto Palooza in a minute too, because I'm really excited about that. Dustin, I didn't know anybody in this community until I went to Keto Palooza and I met Dustin in person before I ever saw him online. But come to find out, I was subscribed to him for 6 years and didn't even know it. So I met him in person, and we like when you meet Dustin, and you will meet Dustin. It's immediate, like you're going to be best friends with him. He's awesome. And then he started talking about this grandma person. I'm like, who's this? I guess I ought to go. And I was hooked the minute. I mean, I don't know what some of the things that you were talking about. I'm not going to talk about, the pea finger, the penis finger thing. But that was like one of the first nights I showed up on your channel. I'm like, what is all this about? And I laughed and I cried sometimes all in the same night. When you go to Grandma Barbara's channel, you could have laughing and crying and just hanging out, and it is so much fun. You won't sleep, but it is so much fun. And I must have found you not long after you showed up on the scene because of Dustin. He mentioned you, and when Dustin mentioned somebody, I immediately go check it out. And then I started sending as many people as I could to you, um, just because it's such a fun place to be. And so we might as well just tell us a little bit about your channel, Barbara. Tell us about your channel.
Well, one of the things that when I was watching as much as I could about the carnivore way, one of the things that really bothered me was I didn't feel that there was enough ongoing support. Yes, you could go and watch an interview. Yes, you can go and learn about a certain subject, or yes, but there wasn't what I needed. And that was every day I needed support. I wasn't getting support from my family or anything. I just needed to talk to people. I needed to open up my world because I was so locked in that I figured this would be it. And so I promised myself that I would do this and talk to people, and that would keep me from eating. It would keep me, but it's just a place to hang out. I didn't want to teach. I didn't, I just wanted to be myself, crochet, and just open up my channel. Almost like we can all be together and support each other type of thing. We can crochet together. We can do crafts together. We can just have a good time and socialize and be together. So it's
Right.
not about interviewing. It's not. It's not. It's about being around like-minded people that understand what we're each going through. Because that's what I needed. I could tell my family, hey, I put on my socks today for the first time in 10 years. And he goes, well, you should. You should be able to put on your own socks. And with you guys, it's like victory. Let's celebrate
Yeah.
it. Celebrate those victories. And it's so important because it makes you feel good about yourself that someone understands that, yeah, I can't put on my socks yet either. But yeah, that's pretty much how that goes.
Okay, I'm going to say hi to a few people. Can you
Mhm.
guys hear me? Is there an echo, a weird echo? Do you hear a weird echo?
I don't.
No? Okay. Because some people were saying my volume wasn't very loud enough, but I don't know. I may have to pop out and pop back in. But let's say hi to Schmoocast is in the house. Rick Twinbrook Acres is here. GFG Homestead Spanky's in the house. Peter Papa Carnivore's here. Mason's in the house. Hi Mason. Sharon John is here. Juliet and Terry. And Lambs. I just saw Lambs pop in. Welcome, welcome. And Nancy Tanner's in the house too. Welcome everybody. Um, if you everybody probably already knows who Grandma Barbara is. She is famous. So, tell us. So you had strokes. Thank you, Spanky. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for doing that. That means so much. All of the support of this channel. So you talked about you had a stroke, which triggered it. What are some of the other, and just basically, being 400 pounds, which is a condition in itself, really, if you think about it, even without having strokes. What are some of the other things you had? I heard you had seizures.
Yes,
You
I
were
had.
having
When
seizures.
I was going through with my stroke, I was having seizures, and they were able to count them while I was in the hospital, and I was having over 100 seizures. But when I went into where they put all the things on your head, what do they call it, the EKG or ECG or whatever the heck it's called, it showed no seizure activity. And what they told me they was caused by anxiety, and they're called phantom seizures, which is still just as bad as another seizure. I mean, it shows on an EKG, which I was always hooked up to, that my heart would stop while I was having these and I couldn't breathe. So they were serious. It's just that I never knew, and I would still have them even after the hospital, after they cleared the blockage. Um, but they weren't as bad. They just calmed down. I was having them, and I just stopped telling people I was having them, type of thing. So, and that's scary to go through with, all right, I'm going to die at this moment. But I stopped telling people because they kept calling the ambulance and stuff like that. And when you get there, they say, yeah, we know her. She'll get over it. And that was because they're caused by anxiety. All they did was give me medication for anxiety, and hopefully that would calm them down. But until then, just don't eat that. Don't eat that. I had to keep going in and making sure this wasn't blocked. It was blocked anymore. So I had to keep getting a test. So every time I had a seizure, they had to do an ultrasound of the artery to my brain.
Wow,
But
wow.
there's a
And
lot of
so,
issues. It wasn't just seizures. I also had a tumor that was the size of a basketball
mhm.
that dangled between my legs. It came from my private area, my mound, and it was just humongous. And when I walked, it would, you know, did this motion. And when you're lightheaded and weak because you can't breathe, you would fall. So I was falling. I couldn't get my balance and that thing would knock into my leg. So I would have a hard time walking. That now is about this size. In 5 months, it's down to about like this instead of like this. I I was in my walking. I was walking one day and I'm walking along and I'm like, wait a minute, I can walk with my legs closed. Can you imagine
Some,
just suddenly you can walk with your legs closed? You know what I mean? Like walk normal. I wasn't walking with my legs wide apart. So there's a lot of things like that. Skin issues. I had severe dry skin. That's totally gone. Well, there's a couple of little patches, but that's all right. It's mostly all gone. There's a lot of those kind of issues. There's a lot of issues that are healing and going away. It's not perfect. It's still got a lot of healing to go.
yes. Okay, we're going to say hi to a few people, and then I have to read my joke from Carrie because he always provides us with a joke. So, retired Rick is in the house, and Tanya Kitchen Witch is here. Thank you for joining. And Carrie's joke. Did you hear the one about the monkey who could read the thesaurus. He was hanging on to every word. And that's funny, Carrie. Thank you. And then another one, he said, what do, I don't know if I could say that word, lexicographers prefer for breakfast? Synonym rolls. That's a good one, Carrie. Thank you for the daily jokes. I really appreciate those. Okay, so tell us some of the diets that you've tried. You said you've tried all the diets. So just give us like the top
I've been on
five
Weight
ones.
Watchers a couple of different times. I've been on Susan Pewter's fat-free diet.
Yep.
Stop the insanity. I did.
Yep.
I read her book. I watched everything she was on, her exercises. I was
I had her
walking
book
then
too.
5 miles a day. I was walking back then. I got down to a size 12. I was able to get into my daughter's, who was 12 years old, her clothes. That's how small I was. That on a fat-free diet, it does work. From there I stayed on a potato diet. From there I was doing I gained it all back again, and I went into a cabbage soup diet.
Oh yeah. Cabbage soup. My mom and my sister did cabbage soup. Yep.
I did paleo. I did everyone said, "Oh, you've got to try the Mediterranean." I did that. That's a beautiful diet. I love that food. Of course I would. It's got cheese in it. It's got
Yep.
pasta in it. It's got bread. It's got avocados,
Mhm.
all my favorite stuff, and olives.
Mhm.
So I really did that, but I didn't lose anything. I continued to gain. But yeah, I've been on them all. It wasn't until I started to get directed a little bit towards this. I also did the one where you paid like 200 and something dollars a month, and they would send you this cardboard box tasting food.
Octavia,
No, no, like Jenny Craig, I think.
Jenny Craig. There's a bunch of them. I
Yeah,
mean, it's hard to
one
know
of
which
those where
one.
they send you food. It was the nastiest shit alive. I'm surprised. I didn't even last a month. It was just gross. It didn't even taste like
And it's
food.
expensive, and you're
And it's
paying all this
expensive.
money,
It's
and
like, boy, did I get ripped off. This isn't even food, and it wasn't fresh. It was dehydrated crap. So, yeah, I did that. It wasn't until I started doing some research with Jason Fung, intermittent
Mhm.
fasting. So I started doing a little bit of that, cutting my hours down into a smaller window. And I still pretty much do that. It's like I have a window of 4 hours where I eat. Um, so intermittent fasting was almost natural. I didn't do as much as everybody else doing the whole multiple days types of stuff. I didn't do that. I
Mhm.
just closed it in, until I was doing OMAD, just one and not, nothing else. I did that a lot while I was working almost daily, and I was able to lose a few sizes, but I it didn't last long. I still couldn't lose anymore, and I was still a big person. My work pants for work was a men's pants size 66, and it was the last size that I had. So if I outgrew my 66s that I had to have specially made, there was no more pants. They said that's as far as they'll go.
Wow.
Without wearing a uniform, I wouldn't have been able to work. I ended up just retiring because I just got so big. Um, yeah, so it was hard. Couldn't get on elevators, couldn't do escalators, just can't do anything. You can't go into public bathrooms. It was horrible. Can't fit. You're too big.
Yeah. So let's talk about your walking a little bit. You talked about how you had this wheel, or not wheelchair, a walker, and you could barely even get to the bathroom just around your house. And then so you started on carnivore, and then you were just doing daily walks. Like I saw a few of them. You were just trying to get to the end of your driveway,
And that
just
was
trying to
rough.
get to the end of your driveway. And
That was
I think
three
there was a
weeks in.
vehicle there.
Yes, my daughter's car was there. So I would go out the back door because I didn't want to be seen in public. I would do it only at 3 o'clock in the morning because I didn't want to be seen. One of the things I would say is if the fat lady fell, no one would see her. So that was my first video. I think I might have even said that on my first video if you go back. Um, but I would go down the stairs, which I would have a hard time doing those 3 stairs. But I was determined I was going to start going outside. Made it to the gate and held on to the gate for a while to catch my breath because I couldn't breathe. From there, I went to the front of my daughter's car. I would have to hold on to her car because I couldn't make it any further. I couldn't breathe, and my legs and my feet, everything was on fire. I would make it around her car to the back of the car. That was as far as I could go, and then to the end of the driveway. And I would do that. And each day I would try to go a little bit further, but it was always at night after dark. And people started saying in my chat, Grandma, you need to start walking during the day. It's too dangerous to be out there.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, all right, here we go. I hope no one sees me. And I had problems with that. People would say hi to me, and it was like, there was a few times I'd see someone at the end of the street, and I would turn around and walk home. I mean,
I
it was
remember that. I was watching one and you're like, there's a person over here and I can't
that's
I can't
because the
do this,
fear,
you
the
know?
anxiety was so high.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah. I remember watching that. And that's why. And now, so what's the farthest you've gone since you started this walking journey?
Um, I I walked to the store yesterday. I walked to the store. That's 3 blocks away. Today I walked completely around the block, and I almost continued going. I said, "Oh, wait a minute! I passed my house. I have to go after doing a walk." And the pain, I didn't have pain in my butt, so, so I could have gone a little bit further. But it is not about you know going far. It's about just move.
Yep.
Just move. Go out and move. Go out and be in the sun. Go out and be in public. Go out and say hi to people. Because I have such a hard time with that. So it's just, that's all that matters. Someone says, do you think you've gone a mile yet? A mile, I don't care about a mile. I don't care if it's 10,000 feet or 10,000 steps. It doesn't matter to me. It matters more that I'm outside. I'm in the sunlight. I'm saying hello to people and not avoiding people.
Yep. It's so important. And thank you, Tanya, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. We love you. You're an important part of this community, and I really thank you for the channel support. And hi, Kathy B here, Debbie Lee, and I don't know if there's two Kathys, but thank you for for subscribing to the channel. This story is so compelling, and Barbara's kind of emotional tonight, but she's also very fun, and we laugh a lot together. We really do, and I feel like I've known you for a long time, and we just met. You're gonna get me crying too because your story is just Barbara. I just have to say, you know how Bill Nye inspired you? You're inspiring. I can't talk. You're inspiring so many people. Like you know me. I have bad days all the time. I'm stressed. I'm eating bacon at 11 o'clock at night because I'm so hungry because I'm stressed and I have a thyroid that's pooping out on me and it's like I just maybe I eat the bacon, maybe I don't, but I turn on the YouTube and I go to Grandma's channel and and you sing to me.
I gotta sing you Puff the Magic Dragon.
Can, can you just do it for me live while I'm on the
Do
screen,
you
please?
really
Can you
want me
do
to
it?
do it to you?
Yes,
Okay, here we go.
come on, just a little bit. Ready?
Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. That's it.
Okay. So the story behind this, I don't know. One night you just started singing that song. I don't know how it started.
I don't either.
I don't remember if I was asleep or if you started singing and it woke me up and I'm like, I love that song. And so like so it just became this thing where when grandma's on, first of all, grandma starts at 9 p.m. and you go till 2, 3, 4 in the morning
Today
sometimes.
we did 7 hours. 7 hours. 7 hours long.
And so I can't stay in because I have a job and I have to get up early in the morning and stuff like that. So, like when I get sleepy, she now has this thing where you can type exclamation point puff and it will pull up the lyrics. She just starts singing and it's like beautiful. And it's like, except for one time you said it angrily. And I'm like, whoa, no, Grandma, that's not the way you're supposed to sing that. And even, I think was it Mason? No, it was Candy or Mason. Candy or Mason's like, one time you sang it a little rough, and that really wasn't a lullaby.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, and I have to show you something else too. I haven't crocheted in probably 2 years, right? And I've been crocheting for 20 years. But Grandma is so inspirational that I am now. I've been making just a scrap blanket, right? But you've inspired me to pick up the crochet hook again,
Crocheting
and
relieves stress, so it's very
it
important.
does.
So that's why I do it. So
It does.
we got a
And
lot
so
of
many people
crocheters in my channel now that are also keto and carnivores.
Yes. Yes. So, and it is relaxing and it has helped me so much, even though I'm so busy and you would think that I don't have time to do it. But sometimes you just need a mental break from whatever it is you're doing. And crochet and crafting and whatever, singing, music, whatever does that. And so thank you for inspiring me to do that again. I really owe all of that to you. So you're inspiring people in so many ways. Oh, the other thing Grandma's doing. Grandma is writing beautiful music. Like she's using an AI program and it's the one that I use, it's Suno, but you are writing your own lyrics and you're putting them in there and then you're instructing it to make a vibe for a song. And would you mind, is there a song I can play part of on here, or can I post a link to a song in the chat so people can go listen to it?
Today I
I
released Milton the cat. I do a lot of
Okay.
stories too. I do stories of people that are dying of cancer, all of those things. So I don't want to do a sad song. Probably
Okay.
Milton the cat, something uplifting
Okay.
for a carnivore. The
Okay. Can I
carnivore
play
living.
just the like 30 seconds of
Go
that
for it.
and
Go
then
for it. They're
post
for
it?
everybody.
Okay.
Anyone can use them.
Yes. So, crochet corner. Hold on. I should have had this pulled up. Let me go here and like I said, I pinned her channel. I pinned her channel to the top. So you all need to go subscribe to her, although I think most people are already subscribed. Is this under your videos?
Yeah,
Oh, here it is right here. Okay, hold on. Let me pull
yeah.
this
I
up.
did up Milton today. So this is Milton 2,
Okay,
part
hold
2 of
on.
Milton.
All right. So we're going to just share the screen and we're just going to play a little. We won't play the whole thing, but we're just going to play a little bit. And then anybody who wants to hear this has to go to Grandma's channel and watch this video. So bear with me. I'm just going to share this screen. Okay. Can we all see this? Are we ready? Okay, so this is the one she did about, this is Rick's kitty, Milton,
Yeah.
the carnivore cat. Deballed but dangerous because he just got snipped. This is great.
Well, Milton was a menace, king of every street. Black fur legend with a carnivore beat. Chicken on the counter, steak on the floor. Thought he owned the world and maybe a little more. Then Rick took him in, said, buddy, be cool. Trip to the vet, rules are rules. Came back lighter, strutting slow. Rick said, son, you're mellow now, you know. Rick says he's sweeter, softer, calm. Sleeps all day curled on my arm. Doesn't fight, doesn't roam. Best behavior I've ever known. But Milton still got the upper paw. Still running things behind the law. Lost a couple things, that much is true. But don't you think that cat is through? Rick thinks peace is fine. Smiling
love it.
one, but Milton's playing chess while Rick plays checkers, son. Get bald, yes, but don't be fooled. That cat's still sharp, just subtle and smooth. He purrs.
All right. Thank you, Grandma. That is awesome. You are doing such a great job with that. I mean, you've even made a theme song for
Healing
Healing
Humanity.
Humanity. Yes. Let me. How do I start sharing
There's a
this?
couple of them that say Healing Humanity, but it's the one that's got like 500 views or whatever. But yeah.
Yes. And also, Barbara was just interviewed by Carrie Mann. And if you have not seen that video, go to Homestead House channel and please check that out because that interview, I mean, you're just so inspiring. And okay, so you talked about your anxiety, right? You talked about your anxiety and that you wouldn't leave your home to even just go to the end of the driveway. Now you're walking to the grocery store. Now we've got this big thing coming up in October
I know.
that that you just jumped all in and like shocked
Got my
the heck
ticket.
out of everyone.
Got my
So
ride.
where are we going in October?
We're going to Kentucky and going to a meetup in Louisville.
He Palooza. Barbara and Mason, who's Alicia, Barbara and Alicia are going to room together, and Jerry and I are going to room together. And I think we're probably going to need some bail money for the four of us. So, we may have to set up a
I just
fund
hope
for
my
that.
anxiety doesn't get the best of me. I'm hoping that by then I'll be cool.
I think you're doing fine, Barbara. And you know what? If something happens, you've got me and Jerry. If you need to get out of there, we'll plan an escape. You know what I'm saying? If you got a support system there, it's not like you're going all by yourself. You're going to be there, and your daughter's going to be there too. She's going to be there with us.
And
So
who knows?
we're
Nine
not.
months away, you can have a baby in 9 months, so.
Well, please don't do that. But I mean, you're a grandma now. Grandmas can't be having babies.
I said you. I said
Oh,
you
I
could
can't.
have a.
I don't have a uterus, so of course Kilt says I can still have a baby without a
That's
uterus.
right.
But that's a whole nother story for a different day. But oh, Kelly's got a joke too, Broken Carnivore. He says he's got dad jokes. So why do cows wait, hold on, I can't read this. Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. That's a good one. Okay, oh, how old are you, Barbara?
65 years old.
Oh, I asked that for a reason because anytime we all make fun of Barbara because she's like, she forgets something or she can't do something, she goes, it's because I'm 65 years old. And we're like, come on now. Just because you're 65 doesn't mean
Well,
you can't
here's
do
the
something.
real thing behind all that. This is it. This is the real thing, Amy. The real thing is when I was over 400 pounds, I couldn't bend down to pick up anything off the floor. And I'd say, I'm fat. I can't pick it up. Well, now that I can pick things up, I can put on my own socks. I have to find another excuse, right?
Yes.
I'm 65 years old. I got to come up with something.
I love it. I love it. I had to put that one on there because, it wouldn't be a night if Barbara doesn't say I'm 65. Oh, and you are real. Like you'll talk about whatever issues you have. It doesn't matter what it is. And there's one thing that you've just recently been able to do
Are we talking
that
about recently, like the week of Christmas? Or are we talking
yeah.
about recently?
What were you well, I don't know. Is there more than one thing you've been able to do?
Well, I just did something the other day. I picked up
Well, this might
water off the ground. You're talking
no,
about
this
the Christmas week. All I want for
yeah.
Christmas was
Yes.
I even wrote a song about it. All I want for Christmas, but all I want for Christmas is to be able to wipe my butt. I haven't been able to reach my butt in like 10 years or longer. Can you imagine
Mhm.
going to the bathroom? You can't wipe your butt and you have to turn around constantly after you're done and stick your butt in the shower to clean yourself? So that's all
No.
I wanted for Christmas was to
And
be able to wipe my butt. Mason would say, "You're going to be able to wipe your butt before Christmas," and I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So I started to do exercises. I actually found a YouTube video on how to stretch and do exercises to be able to wipe your butt, and that's
really,
yes, it's really out there. So I started doing them. And it took me about 2 weeks, but Tuesday before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, I was able to wipe my butt. And I've been able to wipe my butt every day since.
guys, this is a real thing. Dustin even talks about not being able to use certain bathrooms when he was so heavy. So, I don't know why there's coins everywhere. Carnivore Jerry.
I
Um,
used to have special sticks too, but they disappeared when you have young children in the house.
were they playing with
And someone is because they disappear. I think they thought they were, a wand or something. I have no idea.
them? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that, but your
I
poop
say,
sticks
where the hell is
disappeared.
my poop wiper? Who took my poop
Grandkids are
wiper?
nasty, man. Grandkids will play with anything, man. You know, they really will.
I even tried hiding
Oh,
them, but then I'd forget where I hid them.
that
I'm
happens. I have
55.
that
I'm
issue too.
simple. What can I
I'm
say?
s- I'm 65. Okay, so there's another question I have to ask you.
Comfort
It's
white
about
commercials.
wait, how did I write this? Where'd it go? Do you have a crush on Dr. Chafee or do you just like his meat fridge? What's the deal with you getting all like red when someone
I mean,
mentions
come
Dr.
on,
Chafee?
come on. What a great male specimen to be able to watch, right? He's standing there, flexing his muscles, shirtless, with a nice thick ribeye. Who can't like that? I mean, the ribeye. I mean, the ribeye. Did you catch the story I put out, the song? There's a song out
Oh,
about
Dr.
that.
Chafee?
Yes,
No, I gotta go check that
yes, I
out
just
like
put it out this
pronto.
afternoon.
You did?
Yes, it's
No, I
up there.
haven't seen it
I
yet.
did not say it was Dr. Chafee, but once you listen to the song, you know darn
You know who it
well
is.
you know who it is, especially if you've ever heard of him or watched even a pinch of one of his commercials.
Yeah, because he does everything with his shirt off.
Yes,
I mean, come on.
and that's brought up.
Gosh, I gotta go. I gotta go check that out right after this. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
You can throw it up
Uh,
now. We got time, don't we?
okay. Can I? Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Okay, let me get out of this one. Uh,
Uh,
okay,
well,
hold
this is
on.
dedicated. I
The
did really
ribeye.
good.
Oh man, yes. Okay. Even the hold on, let me skip this. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me share the screen again. Here's another one of Barbara's hits coming to you. It's about the
It
shirtless
just came
doctor.
out today. It's not. No one's even. I don't even think there's very many watches. They probably don't know what it's about. I,
We're gonna
and I
listen to
don't
some of
say
this
on it
now.
that it's him. I don't say that it's him or about him.
Ribeye Rock Doctor. Okay, here we go. Ribeye Rock Doctor. Everybody ready? And it says how many patients have crushes.
There's a doctor on the screen, no lab coat disguise, just a killer smile and fire in his eyes. Truth in his voice, calm in his tone, makes real food feel like coming home. Glass door fridge, lights glow bright, right by stack like Friday night. Doesn't sell fear, doesn't sell pain, just strength, discipline, and metabolic gain. Then the shirt comes off, lesson starts, science lands, but so do hearts. Eyes roll back, a few girls swoon, hard to focus on in saloon. It's ribeye, rock and roll, carnivore control, strong bodies, calm minds, feed the soul. White coat's gone, truth takes hold, teaching health with nerves of gold.
Oh my gosh, this is so
Shirtless
good.
science, muscles on view, half his patients got a crush, it's true. Doc don't flex, he's on a roll. Rabbi, rock and roll, carnivore soul.
I love it. Yeah, you can definitely tell that's Dr. Chafee. You can definitely tell. Okay, you guys got to go to Barbara's channel to listen to the rest. I don't want to,
Now,
I want to
I
give.
don't really post every single song that I make, but I do put them in playlist. So
Hmm.
so the playlists are all everything that
Yes.
once I upload it, but I don't always upload all of them onto the channel, if that makes sense.
I wonder if he finds out about this. I'm sure he will.
I didn't put his name down. I was nice, but
You're
anyone
right.
that
It's
watches
obvious.
it.
It's it's obvious who it's about though. So I had to bring that up. Oh, also, you have a beautiful Chihuahua named Baby who is part of your channel.
Yes.
And tell us about Baby and how she is a part of your story and your channel and some of the fun things that she does.
Well, Baby and I are very close. She's a rescue animal. Um, and she pretty much has rescued me. I think we've rescued each other. We're very, very well bonded. Um, she likes to be close to me all the time. I'm talking right now, so I'm surprised she's not on my chest, loving me. And suddenly, out of the blue, what she'll do is just jump right down my shirt, jump right down my nightgowns, and it's like everyone on my channel just knows, yeah, baby's cold. She
Yeah,
refuses to wear any clothes. She'll hide. I think she's hiding her clothes from me too, Amy. I swear to God. I bought her a sweater and it disappeared. She, she says, but she's a sweetheart.
she had terrible anxiety too, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it took a long time for her to just, she didn't even know how to be a dog. She didn't know how to eat out of a bowl. She just didn't know how to live life. I mean, she does now. I had to work with her. I had to, constantly put water on my finger and feed her. I had to feed her because she didn't know how to. It was really bad when we first got her. But she's better, but we just have a special bond. She has to be with me all the time. She's
She
my
loves you
support
so
animal.
much.
She's my,
She is.
she is my support, emotional support dog. She's certified. So,
And for the people who just come on your channel the first time and they see this dog crawl down your shirt, it's like, oh, we're like, oh, that's just Baby.
that's just
Like
baby.
the people are like, did that dog just crawl down her shirt?
Yeah,
And
I'm
we're
just
like,
like,
that's
hey,
just
it's like,
Baby.
yeah, that's baby.
So yeah, so that's the other fun thing about your channel is that it's not you're on screen, but you also have Baby on there too, and we love to. It's kind of like Rick and Milton. It's like Barbara and Baby. She's famous. She's a famous little
And
doggy
she
now.
does all my shorts that I do. There's like 100 shorts of baby, and so all the shorts, just about all of them, are all the shorts are just about all of her. There's like I did that before I started going live on the channel, so it was all baby. Baby was the star. Now she's got to share the spotlight.
So your channel, so you do a mix of open panels. You're always crocheting on it, almost
Yeah.
always. And then some nights you just go live by yourself for 6 hours. And then you're also working on a special Saturday night deal. So tell us about that. Tell us about what you're doing on Saturday nights.
Saturday night is basically reserved for anyone that crochets or does crafting. And right now we have about 4, 5, 6 people in the chat, and then a couple of us on the panel. We have open panel, and we're all crocheting. We're all doing the exact same project, the same pattern and everything. Not everyone, because Amy, she'll come up sometimes and she's doing her own thing, and that's fine. It's not required, but we are. And then the three of us that are on the panel every Saturday, Candy, Debbie, and I. We're going to donate those blankets that we do to whoever's in the chat. We haven't done any ground rules. I think you have to be in the chat, and you can't have already won a blanket. And
Do you
then
mean like Poopy? Poopy, who's won like 500
I know,
blankets. I'm just kidding.
right? It's poopy. But if his name is drawn, if he's in the channel and it's him, he'll get another prize. He'll get something different.
Right.
You know, there's other things that have been given. He just can't get the blanket or anyone that's
Oh,
already won a blanket.
hey Ace. Ace Florida 1, Ace FLOA 1 is here. I know Ace from Tuber Chat. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Oh wait, quarter story. What's the quarter story? S-
Oh, the quarter
Jerry's
story.
a-
The other
Jerry's
day I
asking
went.
about the quarter story.
I think it was yesterday. Well, I think it was yesterday. I did a walk to the store, and for the first time, I mean, I picked up some things while sitting here off my floor, but for the first time, I looked down, and there's a quarter on the street, and so I bent down and I picked up the quarter, and I didn't know it until Jerry pinpointed it in the chat that that moment that I picked up that quarter was 13:13. 13 minutes in, 13 seconds. I picked up that quarter. And that was Jerry's mom's lucky number, 13. And yeah, so it was like a celebration for me, lucky, must be my lucky day. I said that right after that.
Wow.
So that was, but then on the way back from the store, I found more change and I was able to pick up all of them. So it was sort of like a little celebration moment there going on.
That's cool.
I
That's
can pick
really
things up off
cool.
the ground, something flat.
That's amazing. So, what is your favorite? You've been carnivore. Let's see, since when is your
July
official
27th.
of this year? That's
Yeah.
right, because I started on July 6th and you started this time. We've started about the same time. So, what's your favorite meal what's your favorite thing to make?
My favorite thing that I have the most would be power bowls that Homestead How does with the cut up bacon, um, the hamburg, and the scrambled eggs. I mix it all together. Sometimes I put cheese on it, like they do sometimes, but I don't try to do too much cheese because I have problems, digestive issues. I get inflamed by it, so I don't do too much. But yeah, that's my favorite. Oftentimes I'll do uh, Bill Knott does a roast in a slow cooker, chuck roast, and he just puts butter on it, closes the lid, and cooks it for 5, 6 hours. I've done that a few times. That's one of my favorite things. So those two are my.
My favorite too. Yeah. Ribeyes and chuck roast, which not everybody can afford.
Yeah, no one can afford those.
Yeah. I mean, I get them
But
at the
here's the thing.
holidays.
This is how I can have it. Valentine's Day is coming up. Don't buy me
Yeah.
candy. Buy me a ribeye.
Yeah. Right?
You know, I'll love you to pieces. I'll love you back. Buy me a ribeye. For Christmas it was the same way. Get me a ribeye. That's what I want for Christmas. And I ended up getting like about 8 steaks,
Wait,
ribeyes.
the way to grandma's heart is with a ribeye. So, so
Why
yeah.
give me
Sorry.
flowers? I can't eat flowers. I can't eat
Right?
a heart of chocolates. I mean, it's only the thought that counts. But my husband will buy me chocolates, knows that I can't eat it, just so that I say, here you go, yeah, honey, eat these chocolates. I think she just froze, or is she just looking? I think she's frozen. She is frozen, isn't she? It's just me. Let's see. What can I talk about? Just me. Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. Who do we got in the chat? Anything going on? Anything I can talk about? Still doing the 8 balls. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing some of the funny songs like Milton the Cat. I think Milton's cool. And the other day I did a funny one on Carnivore. Um, what was that one? See, I'm 65 years old. I can't think of all this. Oh, she lost the internet. Oh, great. Oh, the Carnivore Olympics. Um, Kiltz and Dr. Kiltz and George, they're trying to get together doing a future carnivore Olympics. So I went ahead and I did a comical about what the future of Carnivore Olympics could possibly be. And of course, we had to use things that our community, talks about, like iguanas, flying iguana contest, and that type of stuff. We were all just in my channel one day talking about the different things that could be in the, carnivore Olympics, and I just went with it and developed that song. Oh, thank you, Kathy. One of the big things for me, one of the big things is I'm not about, selling a product or anything. That's never going to be my thing. My thing is about keeping it as real as possible. I mean, all the bad with all the good. That was my promise to myself in my very first live, that I'm here to let you know all the bad things about this journey, all the good. If it turns out to be all negative, I'm going to share all the negative. But so far, there really has only one negative. I wish it wasn't true, but it's true. The one negative is explosive diarrhea. If you eat too much fat, you're gonna have the diarrhea. So I try to, you know, that's the only negative, guys, because you can control that by just not eating all that melted fat. You just go ahead and use solid butter. Um, you do that, and it cuts back on the diarrhea. So I try to keep everything as real as possible. That's my thing. There's a lot of other exercises too I could talk about, but Amy would probably shoot me, so I can't talk about everything that happens. There's a thing about after dark, grandma after dark, that sometimes we talk butter. Yes, butter. That's right, booby. 1 hour till Bob transforms. Yeah, because I got to transform into my jammies. I go and do the real deal, guys. I'm in my pajamas every night, as comfortable can be. I got to keep it real. Before I started doing YouTube at 9 o'clock, I was in my jammies. So now I invite you into my home where I'm there in my jammies. And then we just hang out and just have fun. And that's one of the things that's so important is, yeah, we're doing this for life, but it doesn't mean that we can't have fun doing it, right? And be social and be there for each other, right? So my channel is more about being social and hanging out and having a good time than it is um, to learn about the science of carnivore. A question: tell us your Walmart clothes shopping adventures, Barbara. Oh my goodness.
Okay, are we still here? I don't know what's happening. I lost internet and
I was
now it's
just
back.
I got asked a question about my Walmart clothes shopping.
Okay, somebody's
So
asking a
she's getting ready
question.
to answer it.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Sorry about that, guys. I lost internet here. We are having a snowstorm.
Ugh.
So again, which never makes me lose internet, but it did today for some reason. Okay. Okay, so talk about your Walmart. Sorry
Well,
about that,
Walmart
guys.
only goes up to size 3. If you're lucky, maybe size 4X. I'm not talking about 3. I'm talking about 3X here, extra
Mhm.
3 extra large, and that's it. Most stores do. You can't anywhere else. You're lucky if you can find a 4X. Well, when you're a size 7X, 6X, 5X, you can't go shopping anywhere normal. So for years, I haven't been able to buy anything at any of those kinds of stores. 2 weeks ago, all my clothes, as you could tell, are just too big. I have to keep putting them behind me. I have to put safety pins on the back of my neck to keep the corners closed. So I said, I got to go get a couple of tops, get some new nightgowns, something. And I did, and I was able to fit into Walmart's clothes. I'm in a size 3X. I didn't know what size I was. So That's my adventure. And I went to another store and I bought a 3X. So even another store carries my size. Barbara, what is your favorite
Wow.
song or music? I love opera, but no one else does classical. I do.
I like
I have one song that's sort of like a choir song. I haven't released it because I didn't want everyone to hate me. But I
well,
like
I
that.
sing
I
in
like
two choirs.
yeah, and I like some rock, classic rock and stuff. So I'm playing around with other types of music right now. That someone said, don't you ever play, or gonna do classic rock? You're always doing country or you're doing soft music. There's a reason for that. When you're telling somebody a sad story, you
Hmm.
want them to feel the sadness, that incredible wounded feeling. Um, you're not gonna be up in the rafters with the drums and having a party when someone feels like they're dying.
Right.
So it has to be a mood thing. So I'm trying to get out of that and trying to move into a more uplifting beat. But I like all
Your
music.
songs
I
are
just don't
great.
like rap. I'm sorry. I can't do rap. I probably should try it one day on a song, see if I like it, but I can't do it.
Oh, and Ivy's here. Hi, Ivy. Welcome. She said my favorite opera song was from Fifth Element and with Bruce Willis.
Yes,
He
that
did.
song was incredible.
I gotta look that up. I don't know
Oh
that.
yeah, that's been around for famous. Da, 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 da. I
Yeah,
don't know. I can't do it. I'm not gonna.
that was pretty good. I love it. We get we get Barbara to sing so many things on her channel. It's so much fun. And the other thing we do to her that we kind of mess with, okay, if you haven't noticed, Barbara has a little bit of an accent
Yeah.
because you're from where are you from? Tell us where you're
I'm
from
from
originally.
Maine. We don't say our R's and our A's, and we're just we're like 20, 30 years behind the times. So when you guys want to be talking about some sort of wooden board that you're going to put cheese and slice,
Charcuterie.
yeah, that word.
So one night we tried to get her to say I say charcuterie. I don't know how everybody else says it, but we typed and it's spelled weird. It's just spelled funny. So we put that in there. We are trying to get her to say it. She's like, "You mean a cheese board?" She didn't even know what it was. And she's like, "Do you mean a meat and cheese board?" Is what we call it. And then we put in hors d'oeuvres, and then she's like, "Horse divorce." We had her say it like horse divorce. We're, I'm sorry, Barbara. You are such a good sport about everything too. I think it's because everything you've been through. It's like, okay, yeah, they're messing with me. So what? Who cares?
Yeah, who
You
cares?
go with it.
I'm just so happy all the time. It's one of the things I say when you live in misery for 10, 20 years and you're in so much pain and you feel like you're being tortured. And then suddenly,
Mhm.
out of the blue, you're no longer in pain. You're no longer tortured. You can just experience fun. And I haven't been able to have fun for a long time. I go out on my walks and I hug fire hydrants. People send me gifts, fire hydrant gifts, because
Wait. So tell us about the whole. Okay, so if you go on Barbara's channel and you type the word fire hydrant, it will post your channel in there. So I don't know if I've ever
you
really
don't
heard the
know
fire
about the
hydrant
fire
story.
hydrant where it started. The fire hydrant
No.
started because on one of my walks, when I couldn't walk very far without, I had to sit. If I didn't sit, I was going to fall. I had to sit. It was like I'm panic driven. I have to sit. The only thing available is a fire hydrant. So I'm trying to walk to the fire hydrant, but when I got there, there's this big knob on the very top of the fire hydrant. And I'm like, I can't sit on that knob of that fire hydrant. And I say all this while I'm walking, like, oh my God, that would kill me. That would hurt so bad. And I'm thinking, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, is your feet worse? Or would sitting on that big metal cold chunk of a fire hydrant top, which would hurt worse? And it'd be like, no, I'm not going to do it. Let's keep moving. So I would end up going home. So, you know, that's
Wow.
where it came from. So after that, every fire hydrant, I'd look around. All right, I've taken another 20 steps. I got to sit. Oh, there's another fire hydrant available. It's like, yeah.
I don't know.
So I
Yeah,
started
that makes
hugging the
sense.
fire hydrants. Here's my friend. This is my friend. And someone said
Oh,
the other day, "You haven't hugged a fire hydrant lately." And I said, "All right, next walk I'll go and hug a fire hydrant." So
Spanky, I'm not even gonna read that one. You're a sick man. You're a sick person. He said, well, maybe you would like it.
maybe I would. Who knows? You know. And some of them fire hydrants has chains.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh,
mean,
you
I'm not.
guys.
I'm very, very, very serious. They have chains. I don't know why they have chains, but they have chains. So yeah,
I've
I'm not
seen
going to
those
sit on it,
before.
and I
Yeah,
don't want to
that
know what
makes
they're going to do
sense.
with the chains.
Yeah, I'm just going through here. Okay, so you guys, you've got probably 15 minutes to ask Barbara questions. So what do you want to know? I mean, Barbara's famous now.
I
She's
am not.
famous. Like Kilts. Dr. Kilts showed up in her live stream last night. And Carrie Mann and her are like this.
I wouldn't say that.
And I would. That was a great interview. If you guys haven't seen that, you got to go check her out. So you're
He was an
retired.
hour late for the interview. Just saying. Just saying. He was an hour
You know
late.
what? I'm starting to see patterns with him and Jen. I think Jen was late on Thomas's.
Yes, but that was
It says,
Carrie's fault too. So it's Carrie. Just got to make sure if you ever get interviewed by him to really seriously make sure you're on the same page. Are we talking Central or are we talking Eastern? Are we talking Mountain? What are we talking here? Let's get this figured out before you actually meet. Make sure.
he's on Central Time, right? Because he's in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
he's a.
So if
You
you're
know,
on
I
schedule
just
with
thought it
him,
was so cute. You know, of course he'd be late. You know, that was just so sweet.
so you're retired from
Yes,
your,
I had to
but
get retired. I
you've
had to
held a
retire.
lot of interesting jobs. You've done a lot of, name some of the like jobs that you've done.
I worked in an OR for about 6, 7 years. That was interesting. What I did was I would be the person that was not within the sterile field. I would be on the outside of the sterile field and I would go get things. So if the doctor says, I need this instrument, this, go to CSD, get it, I would be the one to go get it. I need 5 units of blood. I would go down to the blood bank and get the blood. And you have to rush, you have to hurry because they need it now. They've got someone on the table that's opened. So I did that for many years. I love that job, but there was a lot of sadness. I spent a lot of time crying. I've watched people die. I mean, I've lost people lose parts of them that they would probably not want to lose. Well, you wouldn't want to lose anything, but men are very particular about one certain part. I've watched some of them lose those. Um, so that was that job. I've assisted autopsies. Um,
Wow.
that was horrible when you're doing an autopsy and their eyes are open and bouncing around. That's kind of flippy. I would just go over and just close the eyes. I've helped with harvesting. I hated harvesting, um, but it happens. Um, let's see, I've done jails. I worked in a jail for about 20 years. I was a supervisor I did all the stuff that you wouldn't see in a jail, like I did all the monitoring. I watched all the inmates in their cells or their units, make sure no one's, an officer is okay because it was open where the officers was inside of like a 48-man cells, made sure they were safe. So I was a supervisor for the nights, doing that, and I would have a bunch of people on different floors that I would go around, do rounds with, make sure everyone was okay, they had their breaks, that type of stuff. But yeah, I did that. And during COVID, when all that was happening, it was spreading like wildfire through the jail. People were dying, officers were dying. I lost my best friend at work. She passed away. And it was then that I said, you know, the word on the street was if you're fat, you catch it, you die. And I was like, I have all I can do to make it into the jail. I'm so obese. I'm over 400 pounds. I have to sit 3 times before I get to my office. I have to get done. And so I got done with my job, and I haven't worked since.
Well, you're working now. You're doing a lot of stuff. You're a busy lady.
I am YouTube doing stuff for YouTube probably 18 hours a day.
Hmm. YouTube's a lot of work. For those of you who don't have a YouTube channel, a lot of work for little reward. Not that we're asking for money, because most of us, like Barbara and I, who do this, we do this because we care about people and we just care about helping people. And Barbara's one of those people. The Barbara's
Well,
one of those people that she just wants to help.
my whole thing is I'm alive today, and I believe I'm alive today because someone dared to tell this story. And that saves lives. I believe in that wholeheartedly. Telling stories saves lives.
Mhm.
So that's my whole thing, is making sure stories, you have a place to tell your story. You have a place I can tell my victories, you can share your victories. Stories are being told. Someone that's questionable and don't know if this is what I want to do can hear these stories. They know. So stories to me is very important. And I found a way of telling stories, in someone's personal song. And there's some
Yep.
sad, sad, and also some very happy, songs out there of recovery. And people need to hear them. I believe
They
that
do.
one day, um, everyone's going to truly believe in the carnivore way. Right now, it's so questionable. It's like the occult, it's dangerous. And one day, we're going to break through that by telling stories. It's going to be stories over science. Science says one thing because it's money involved, so they got to spread the falsehood to make money. And we're the people that's telling stories, and we're going to convince people through being healthy and getting better. So stories are so
Right.
important.
Right. I agree. I agree. And you provide such a beautiful place for people to come at night just to unwind. And
They fall asleep in my
um,
channel. How was that unwinding? I bore them to death.
because you're so relaxing. Hey, I've heard you fall asleep on your own channels.
Twice. Twice, I'm not sure if anyone noticed. All I know is I was crocheting and I just closed my eyes and I woke up snoring. It's like, oh crap, gotta go. And then another time I look back, I'm like this, and I'm trying to read the channel. Next thing I don't know how long I was out, but when I woke up, everyone was in the channel saying, "Yeah, I think she's asleep. Does anyone know how to get in touch with that family?" I'm like, "Oh God, I'm pulling a Rick. I'm pulling a Peter."
Peter, I'm sorry, Peter. We love you, Peter, but I know you're watching, but the day that I had my surgery, I had a hernia repair. Well, you're not supposed to like exert or laugh or do anything like that after you just had your gut.
I was watching that
And
at the moment that it happened.
was that on Carnivore Talk, or was on Russ's Tuesday Night Live?
It was the
I
one
mean, it
that
was like,
it was the guy that does the cooking, the barbecue or something. What's it called?
oh, Keto Cookout. It was on
Yeah,
Russ's
keto
channel.
cookout. Because
I
I
mean,
remember that guy.
he fu- and then that week you told the brown rice story, which we're not going to talk about that here.
There is a
Barbara
video
has,
because I stopped
yeah.
talking about it that actually tells the story of the brown rice story.
Hold on, I'll post it. You all have to go to. I don't want it on my channel because this is Barbara's story, and you need to go watch. Well, I mean, it's not that I would let you tell it, but I want everybody to go and give you the views.
Oh, that
So
doesn't
what
bother
I'm
me
gonna
then.
do is I'm gonna post it. Uh, I need to find this real quick. Oh
Yeah,
my
what
gosh,
I
you got
did
so
was
many
I
videos.
took a cut out of the long live and I posted it on another channel and I explained at first what the story was and then
Hmm.
so I didn't have to keep saying I could just say, yeah, go to this
Oh, here we go.
go watch the video.
Okay, it's 16 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me okay,
It's
so
what
this is
happens
you
when
all
you're
need.
told, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna post this brown rice story. You all need to go watch this. I mean,
This is just trying to
aside,
get healthy, guys. This is what happens when you go healthy and it's a high carb diet. This is what happens to you.
I heard this. I was on oxycodone when I first heard the story because I just had surgery, and it was the first time you told it. My surgery was October 20th, and you told it on the 21st or 22nd.
Yeah.
And I thought I was hallucinating. I'm like, there's no way this happened.
And this is
And
that
then she,
story that you heard because when you told me the date, that's when I went back and I looked at those lives. So this
yeah,
is the actual live that you was watching.
I'm like, there's no way. And this is okay. Imagine me having hernia surgery, then watching Papa fall asleep on camera, and I have stitches, right, that I'm trying not to pop. And then you all just, if you haven't heard the brown rice story, you gotta go watch this link. And honestly, it's real. I mean, it's kind of funny. Barbara will admit it's kind of
Funny
funny. It
after the
wasn't funny.
fact, wasn't
It
during.
wasn't funny at the time. I mean, this is real stuff that happens when you're struggling with obesity, you're struggling with mobility issues. This is the kind of stuff that happens. So, I mean, it's funny now, but when you think about the reality of this, it's really it's really not funny. I mean, this is what people like Barbara struggle with in their day-to-day life. Day-to-day life, right? So everybody go check out that video. Um
But you know what? I did not lose a day of work. That all happened on my last day of the week work. And it happened throughout the whole course of the weekend. And then I never missed a day's work. I was so good, but I was suffering.
that's your takeaway from all this is you didn't have to call in sick. Oh my gosh. You're awesome, Barbara. We just love you. I'm a huge fan and I try to share your channel um with anybody I can, and you like are doing amazing things for this community. I mean, you're just bringing us all together with your songs and the stuff that you're doing, the social media stuff, and coming on people's channels, you
Yeah, I just
know.
started daring to do that, really.
Well, okay, so we got to go back to the first thing that you mentioned, which the first week that I was in there, I'm like, Barbara, will you come on my channel? And I wanted you to be like my first interview. And you're like, no, 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 I can't do that. I'm not ready to do that, right? It was like a week later, you're on Cindy DeMancha channel. I'm like,
I thought it was you.
so tell the story from your perspective.
Well, I knew someone had come in and asked me, but I wasn't sure who it was. And I said, well, I'll think about it. You can ask me later. You can, email me. And then
Mhm.
Cindy, unknowing to me that it wasn't Amy, came in and said, would you come on my channel? And then I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So I went on Cindy's for an interview. And then it hit me, wait a minute, I think it was Amy I was supposed to do that for, but I was already committed to Cindy. So,
That's okay. You know what? It
but
doesn't
you get
matter as
so
long as you get
busy
your
looking
story
through
out.
all
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And you're going on Thomas's. Who else you
yes.
got scheduled? You got Thomas.
I got Cindy again this Friday. I believe it's this Friday. On the 26th, I have Dr. Kiltz. And then I have Sunday school with George
Yep.
and all them.
And
Uh,
Stephanie and John. Yep.
yeah, that's on February 1st. And then Thomas is that Friday or Saturday. I got the date written down.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
there's a lot of interviews coming up.
But your story's so good. I mean, it just really is, Barbara. It just really is
I just wish I
inspiring.
could tell it without crying. And
It's
it's
okay.
just that it's still so fresh when you've had everything taken from you and you thought life was over, and then you're starting to live again. When you go back to rehashing what you've been through, it's really hard. It's like,
I know.
why did you live like this? Why didn't anyone? I get so angry and so hurt that this way of living has been covered up. I suffered all those years for nothing when all along it was right there in front of me.
I do too. I feel that way too because I've been through 7 surgeries and all this other stuff, and I'm like, if I would have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have hacked up my body. Probably, I wouldn't have hacked.
And there's a song in that too. I wrote it. If I would have known, it's out there.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to write all the stories in music of all these different thoughts and ideas. They're every single one of them are real. We've all thought about it.
Mhm. Yeah. Hi, Chris Creations. Okay, so do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share, Barbara? I want to be respectful of your time because Barbara goes live in like 30 minutes. She goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'm gonna let her go here in a few minutes. But do you have final thoughts you want to share with everybody?
Um, I've already said this multiple times. My whole thing that trust the journey. Trust is a big thing. Trust the carnivore way. It's not so much a diet to me, it's the way of living. Um, so trust in eating fat. Another thing is tell your story. If you have a victory, share it. Figure out a way of sharing it. If you can't, if you don't have somebody out there in the real world to share your stories, being able to tell your story and actually having someone else hear your story is so important because that's how we're going to spread all of this. It's like we got to spread it like wildfire. Get as many people um, getting more healthy and less in the medical world paying all this money on stuff that can be easily healed um, with just doing the carnivore way or the keto or you know
Right.
keto. Some people do fine on just a keto. Some people do fine
Mhm.
on carnivore. Some people do great, even better yet, doing the lion's diet.
Yep. Yep. All
And I
right,
would just say
guys.
continue on.
Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna be respectful of Barbara and let her go. I don't know if the closing credits are gonna work tonight because I did lose my internet and some things seem to not be working. But I want to thank Barbara. Barbara, I love you. You
I love you
are
too.
such an inspiration, and I know we're gonna be friends for life now. I just know it, and I can't wait for Keto Palooza where I can give you a big hug in person and
Ah,
you can sing me Puff the Magic Dragon in person. It's gonna be
the
awesome.
magic. Yes, yes, barbed wire. That's right. That's
So,
me.
yes. Yes.
I
Well,
know. I
guys,
gotta
yeah.
have time to get into my PJs. See, I dressed for you, Amy.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Barb, and I really
Thank
appreciate
you
you
for
coming
having
on
me.
here. And
Uh,
you're such a big part of this community, and I don't know what I would do without you every night, honestly. It's like part of my routine now, seriously. And you help me mentally in so many ways you don't even know. Just to unwind at the end of the day and not think about all the things. So there's many of us who just cherish you and we appreciate you and love you. And everybody, I want you to head over to Grandma's Crochet Corner. It's not hard. I pinned it in the top, so there's no excuse, right? And if you haven't tuned into her, do it because it is a riot. We have a good time and we confess to each other. We just get things off our chest. It's just a great place to be. And Barb's the only one who could do that, bring us all together like that. So we love you. Okay, Barbara, thank you. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna try to run the credits, but I don't know that they're gonna work. So, but if they don't, oh, one announcement. One announcement. I'm doing an extra live on Tuesday this week at 6:30 because some of you have been asking me about my diagnosis, but I don't want to talk about myself while I have a guest on. So I'm going to go live Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. for maybe an hour and just talk about some things that have been happening with me so that those of you have been asking if you want to know what my diagnosis is and what we're doing and how I'm feeling, we'll talk about that on Tuesday on a separate live. So I just wanted to make that announcement. So, all right, everybody, we're going to try the rolling credits, and everybody have a good night and hop over to Barbara's channel in 30 minutes. See you there, Barbara.
Thank you, Amy. See
Bye
you.
bye. All right, time for the credits. Where are the credits? Here we go. See you all tonight.
Oh, yeah. Lights fade low, the bacon's done. We rocked the stream and had some fun. Keto rock stars in the rocking crew. Stay strong. We're gonna roll with you. Yeah, we're gonna keep rolling.